Hey everybody, this is herculespetix, founder, curator, docent, and gift shop employee of the herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies. Today we're going to be looking at Electric Chair #1, a new comic from Adam Falp. I've never heard of this guy. A few weeks ago I was at a comic show, Permanent Damage in Portland here, and I saw this guy selling this comic and it looked great. And when you pick it up, man, this is like heavy stock. Every page is like really nice, thick paper, full color. This is quite a nice comic book. And this guy is just bringing back the spirit of the undergrounds. It's a one-man anthology, and it's just very undergroundy. He's having a really good time, it feels like. A lot of Roy Tompkins in this guy's artwork. It's like, it reminds me of him a lot. But, I haven't seen Roy Tompkins draw anything in a while, so I'm glad. At least we have him. This is the par for the course. You're going to see a lot of art like this, just crammed with all this crazy imagery. I like his stuff. Even his contents page is wonderful. Amazing, trippy, psychedelic letters. It took me like a minute to read them. I had to make them out. So this really is a one-man anthology in the sense that it almost has like a narrator, and it just has a nice flow to it. I like this format. So we start off, we see a DJ booth, and he reaches into, at first I thought it was a box of records. No, but it's a comic book. It's a comic. And he puts it on the turntable and puts the needle in the comic, and it crackles. And the DJ says, "Welcome to Electric Chair." So it has this nice little intro, as if it was a movie or something. And he's DJing, going crazy. Another excuse to just have all this crazy imagery in the background. So the first story here, we see this guy, and he's like, "Here they come, get ready." And then they're shooting up. And we see these, it looks like zombies. But it turns out they're junkies, because this is crazy junkies versus killer robots. And we see this crazy sci-fi tableau. These junkies are fighting these killer robots. It doesn't seem like the junkies have much of a chance, but the junkies are pretty wily, popping off their caps or whatever, their domes, and ripping out the wires. That's some amazing fun shit right there. Almost a lot of the pages in this could just be a nice little mini poster. They're so fun. And then as they're fighting, we see the colors get all off register. It makes it seem more feverish, And this one junkie's, popping the dome off, trying to kill this robot. But he's still managing to shoot up while he's doing it. He's still in the middle of this life and death battle. And then we kind of... the perspective changes, and we see what's really going on. This is just a game these junkies play. Some of them put cardboard boxes on with these robot heads and pretend they're robots. So if you notice, the color's back to on register, as if this is reality. These goofy guys play this game, but in their imagination, they're seeing like really crazy, nutty robots. And the announcer again, the DJ, slaps another comic on the turntable. I see also a little Joe Sacco in here. I see lots of cartoonists, actually. But I like it. So this is a regular feature of the comic stealers. And these are just a bunch of comic stealers who, go to people's houses and say, people who are like, "Oh yeah, my husband died. Do you want to go through his stuff?" And they find all these crappy superhero comics at this old lady's house, but they know there's a secret stash, so they go up to the attic, they sneak up there and find all these vintage porno comics, undergrounds. And they snag them. And basically, to distract the old lady, the old guy, he's called the old git, he basically seduced her. And so I guess after they leave, she's still pretty horny thinking about him, so she goes up to her stash. And they're missing, and she's like, "No." Yeah, he has a lot of just like one-page pinups in between. Look at that. You can look at this for a long time. Keep seeing stuff. It says technical difficulties, as if we're still in the middle of a program. This is very, not style, but content is very S. Clay Wilson. A few bevies down the red lion. Just showing these like decadent guys. This one's weird. Lou Reed's treasure. He draws a pretty good Lou Reed. And Lou Reed's waiting until nobody looks. I guess he's a garbage picker. And he goes through the bag. And he finds a copy of the Velvet Underground's first album with the banana on the cover. And he takes it home and puts it on a stereo and is just grooving out to it. So I don't quite get it. I think he has his own copy. A nice 2-page centerfold. It's just every mailman's nightmare. It's all these like dogs that are almost like look like a street gang. And they're just brutalizing these poor postmen. This dog's ripping this guy's face off. This dog bit his hand off. It's just crazy fun. This is called Brushes, and it's from the point of view of these LSD dealers, and they keep getting caught and tortured by the police. This is what they say when the police catch it, it's pretty gnarly looking. So they figure that they can get these paintbrushes. They get a bunch of paintbrushes for free. They can dip them in acid, then they dry out, and then they can, when people buy the brushes, they just like kind of inhale the fumes and they can trip. So there's a way to sneak them by the cops. Now some artists start using them, underground cartoonists, and they love it because they can get high and make comics at the same time. And apparently their original art becomes the biggest thing on the black market. Today, if you can find these comics, they're worth millions. The acid upon them fermenting over decades. I always see this guy bought a page and he's licking it because it's drenched in acid basically. And then look at this 2-page spread. We get to see his trip. That's some fun psychedelia. Not necessarily a good trip. It looks pretty horrifying actually. He's blowing his mind. There's a lava lamp here. I like this. The Russian nesting doll skull. That's just great stuff. So then they found the guy weeks later. The guy who took the acid. And I guess as he died, he just had this orgasmic yet painful finish. Rumor has it that even though they were seized by the police, the art, it never made it back to the station. There's a nice pin-up, a brief intermission. I like this little idea, as if you're watching a show. Man, this is amazing. All this little stuff going on. There's all little stories behind these. I'm not sure what they are, but you almost want to read, what the hell's going on here? What's the story behind that? Yeah, this is fucking impressive. Never heard of this guy before. I'm glad I picked this up. I can't remember how much it is, but maybe it was $10, but it's well worth it. This paper is amazing. Little Timmy's old man reading comic books again. This looks very Basil Wolverton-y. Just a big gross out cartoon. It's nice. I like this one. They're once a year, they take this fucking mutant. Just looks like this. It looks like like Rory Hayes drew it. And they put 10,000 hairs are grafted into the scalp. Fluorescent orange paint is applied directly to the skin. They put him in a nice suit, this creature. Put the finest ivory to make, and porcelain to make teeth. And Jim Steranko heads to his table. This is so silly. Basically saying, because if you know Jim Steranko, the cartoonist, he looks really dapper in his old age. He's a silver fox. He looks great. Everyone comments about how sharp he looks. But this is how it's done after all these decades. Another comic stealer story. Once again, they're, just being nerds. They find these amazing comics that they've never even seen before, like kind of crazy underground pornos. But then when they take it to the convention, they're all gone, and it's just shitty Spider-Man books and superhero books. And then for some reason it says, comic stealers, we better get out of here. I don't understand why they're mad with them, but they rush their table. And now we're back to the DJ narrator. Until next time, scratch. He's got the Lou Reed comic on his turntable still. And just another 2-page beautiful crazy pinup. God, man. I'm definitely getting the second one of this. And there he is, all fried out. Look at these crazy colors. It's like melted crayon and watercolors mixed together. I don't know what it is. It looks nice, though. And here we have a little one called, let me line this up. Mexican Garden Party. I definitely prefer stuff in color. His black and white stuff doesn't really do it for me as much. But it's nice. It's a funny little vignette. And then here's the back cover. 13th Annual Soapbox Death Race. So it's like an homage to Death Race 2000, but with Soapbox Derby. This guy's getting his head chopped off by some fishing wire. Or fishing line. All this violent Soapbox Derby deaths. So there you have it. This is, I think, hot off the presses. I think it's relatively new. So this is probably at your comic store. If you have a cool comic store near you, it's probably there right now. I highly recommend it. I mean, you pretty much got the gist of it from watching this. It's not very heavy on story content. It's just kind of an excuse for him to show off his crazy psychedelic underground visuals. And, I do want to say one thing, though. Remember I said Roy Tompkins? Look at that. That is so Harvey the Hillbilly Bastard right there with a helmet on. Okay. Electric Chair #1. Buy it. Adults only. And hope you find it. And I hope to see you again here at the Herculespetix Academy of Comic Book Studies.